Hey footy fans, at the conclusion of round 17's games, we'll be doing our round 18 tips, and it's going to be a very interesting round of footy, and we're excited to get into it, but just a disclaimer, all the grounds and times for these games are yet to be confirmed, so games like Gold Coast and Western Bulldogs, due to COVID and COVID restrictions and borders closing, they might be in a different place like the MCG or something.
Yeah.
Something completely foreign, so we don't know like the date and the times yet, but we do know the home teams for each game. So let's get into it now. So the first game will be Carlton versus Collingwood, Collingwood being the home team. Both obviously MCG teams, but this game will most likely be held at the MCG. COVID can predict anything now, like we can't predict anything with COVID.
Yeah.
But I reckon this will look like the MCG because Victoria's going on, it's 5 days without 0 cases.
Yeah.
So that's alright. But getting back to the footy, I reckon Collingwood are in decent form. Like they've had a few like minor losses. They lost bravely to St Kilda, and they've been looking alright. Like not good, but not bad.
Yeah.
By their standards, I reckon Collingwood will win this by about a goal.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Suns and the Bulldogs. Bulldogs obviously a way better team. They ran Gold Coast teeth in early in the season.
Yeah.
And I just don't see any hope for Gold Coast here. Unless there's something miraculous happens, like the bomb gets injured or something. But let's give the Bulldogs about a 10-goal win.
Right.
It'll be a comfortable win. GWS versus Sydney, this is going to be a great game. You know, obviously one of the best rivalries in football at the moment. Had a cracker game earlier in the season. I really like what GWS are doing. They're on the rise, but Sydney have been a top 8 lock this season.
Yeah.
I'll give GWS about a 3-goal win though. Because GWS, I feel like they want it more. If that makes sense. Melbourne, Hawthorn. Hawthorn obviously been in like pretty shabby form, like not great, not bad.
Yeah.
Melbourne still probably the top 2 best side in the competition, but they've been awful over the last few weeks in terms of consistency.
Yeah.
But I'll still give them to them about 4 goals. Essendon versus North Melbourne. Essendon by about 5 goals. Richmond versus Brisbane. This will be a good game because obviously a lot of rivalry and stuff. But I reckon Brisbane will smash them about 10 goals. Also, because I think Tigers just can't compete at the moment. Port Adelaide versus St Kilda. Port Adelaide obviously looking like a top 5 lock at the moment. I like what they're doing with their list. They look young and healthy, even though they've got a lot of injuries. St Kilda have left nothing to be desired this season. They've had a few good weeks of form, but that's about it really. I reckon Port by about 4 goals, or maybe even 6, somewhere around that region. The Crows versus West Coast. I'm actually going to give this one to the Crows. Crows by about 6 goals maybe, because West Coast have just looked piss poor over the last few weeks, honestly.
Yeah.
They just haven't had a hope, to be honest. I'll give this to the Crows. And the last game of the round is Dockers versus Cats. The Dockers are probably the most mediocre side of the competition. Not good, not bad. And Geelong are a top 4 lock, and this should be an easy game for Geelong. Geelong by about 3 goals.
Alright, now on to my tips. Collingwood, Carlton, first game. Right now, Collingwood at home side, MCG. I think Collingwood will be a little too strong. Both teams on the rise. I just think Collingwood will get over the line by about 10 points. Bulldogs and Suns. Now, Bulldogs, obviously, top 2 side in the game with Melbourne. We'll talk about that later. Gold Coast, possibly, they're on the rise like most teams. I think Bulldogs will be way too strong. So I'm going Bulldogs by about 70 points. I think they'll almost smash them. Sydney and Giants. Giants home game at the moment. I think it will be moved because Sydney's going into another week of lockdown, unfortunately. I think Swans it'll be a close game because it won't be any advantage to the home team. I think Swans will get over the line by 5 points. Demons and the Hawks. Now, as I said before, Demons are probably a top 2 side with the Bulldogs. Hawks are bottom 2 side with North Melbourne. And yeah, I just think Melbourne will do well. I reckon Melbourne will get over the line by about 34 points. Now, Essendon and North Melbourne. Essendon are certainly the best bottom 10 side in the game.
Debatable.
Yeah. Well, I think they are.
Fair enough.
Yeah. North Melbourne, bottom side. We all know that. Nothing bad about North Melbourne. They're just a young side and then not very experienced. I think Essendon will get over the line by about 53 points. I just think they'll be way too strong for North Melbourne. Richmond, Brisbane. Now, I think Brisbane don't actually play that well away from the Gabba, so I think Richmond, despite their really bad form over the past few weeks, will get over the line. I think it'll be 1 point. It'll be really close.
Decent prediction.
All right, now Port and St Kilda. I just think, it's obviously not going to be a Port home game. It's going to be right now at Marvel Stadium for the Saints home. I just think it's not going to do much difference. Port are a way stronger side than St Kilda. Port has cemented their spot in the top 5, so yeah, I just think they'll be way too strong. Port by 16 points. And then Crows and West Coast. Now, this could go well for the Crows or badly. Or same for the Eagles. It's going to be at Adelaide Oval, unless something happens with COVID, obviously. I think Crows will get over the line. Not being biased as a Crows fan, I just think Eagles have had a really bad run in form. I think Crows will get over the line by 9 points. It'll be a close game. And then Cats and the Dockers. If it's going to be at Optus, I think Freo would have a better chance, but we obviously don't know with COVID. But if it's at GMHBA, if it gets moved somewhere, probably not GMHBA, Geelong should smash them. So yeah, I just think Geelong will get over by about 28 points.
Okay, so now my tips. So Collingwood versus Carlton. I reckon this will be a very close game. It'll be like a golden margin, I reckon, because Carlton are they're on the rise. I think slowly, very slowly. But Collingwood are starting to find a bit of form. Lately. So I'm gonna go Collingwood for that reason because they've been finding a bit of form. By 3 points. The Bulldogs and Suns. Now I think this is pretty easy. The Bulldogs should win. If they don't, it'll be a massive upset. They're one of the top two sides in the team.
And Gold Coast have the ability to do it. They did it to Richmond last week.
Yeah. I just reckon Western Bulldogs will win because I don't know. They just got better. I reckon their players are they're in their prime right now.
Yeah.
So Bulldogs are by about 6 goals. Giants and Sydney. Now this is a very good. These two teams always had that rivalry between them. I reckon Sydney will get over the line. They're in better form. It'll be a close game, maybe 5 points the difference. But I'm going to choose Sydney. Melbourne versus Hawthorn. Melbourne should win. Hawthorn are starting to. They're slowly getting better. But yeah. I just reckon they got a list that's too old. Melbourne have a lot of young guns that are really showing the rest of the comp how to play. So Melbourne by about maybe 5 goals. North Melbourne versus Essendon now. Essendon should win. If they win this, I think they will go on the 8. So they really want this win. But North Melbourne also, I think they don't want to finish bottom again this year. But
I don't think they will. I reckon they'll win enough games.
Yeah, I reckon Essendon will just get over the line by about 7 points.
Wow, close one.
Yeah. Because North Melbourne nearly did it against Bulldogs last week. In round 16. So, Richmond versus Brisbane. Now, Richmond should win. This will be a very good game. Richmond should win. I don't know though. I'm only doing that because right now it says that it's at Richmond's home, so it means it'll probably be somewhere around Melbourne. And but Brisbane, I don't know. Richmond are losing a bit of form now.
Yeah.
They're not
a lot of form.
They're not a top 8 side.
Not top 10 side.
I don't know. I just pick Richmond because it's said to be at the MCG, but we'll see how that happens.
I reckon they can make a bounce back.
Yeah, I reckon I'll get the win by about 2 goals. Port and St Kilda now. I reckon Port will get the win over St Kilda. They're just a better team. Not really a lot more to say. They've got a better list. St Kilda are on the rise. There's a lot of teams in this comp that are starting to get better, and a lot of teams that are dropping off. But I reckon Port Adelaide should get the win by about...
It's an unpredictable game.
19 points.
Yeah.
So Adelaide Crows versus West Coast. I think the Adelaide Crows should get the win. West Coast are way out of form. Yeah, they've lost heaps of games. The Adelaide Crows are sort of
embarrassing loss against Sydney.
The Adelaide Crows are sort of on the rise with their young guns. Just rising, showing everyone how it's done. They got a lot of small pressure forwards that I reckon could pressure West Coast if the ball goes to ground. So as long as West Coast don't get it in the air, I reckon the Crows should be alright by about 7 points. And Freo versus Cats. I reckon the Cats should get this one. They're just a better side than Freo. But if Freo win this, they will go closer to the top 8. So I think they really want this win. So I reckon Cats will win by about maybe 3 goals.
So at the end of our tips, we hope you guys enjoyed. We talked a lot about it in that video actually. It's gonna be a great round of footy. Some weird schedules that you don't really see. You know, it's gonna be something different. But as always, have fun. We'll speak to you at the end of the round, footy fans.